And welcome to a new episode of The Simpsons Did It. I'm your host, Steven Skolansky.
And I'm your co-host, Robert Skolansky.
And this week, we're going to the casino. We're going to gamble away all our life savings.
Not for you. You find a way to freaking double it.
Yeah, I usually do. I mean, I'm great at craps. Blackjack is kind of hit or miss. No pun intended.
You're terrible.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, gambling. I mean, I like how the best part about this whole episode is that the casino literally lasts one episode.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the funny part about it. They build this giant casino and they're like, all right, we did it for an episode. But we also kind of get a expansion on Springfield too, which is kind of cool. Kind of open up the Springfield world. We kind of see what other parts there are, and we'll get into that in the episode.
So this episode is season 5, episode 10, Springfield. I'm sorry, $ Springfield, or how I learned to stop worrying and love legalized gambling, which is an obviously title reference to the '64 film Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Yeah. I like
Holy
Bomb.
Christ.
Yeah,
this is a long time.
Long title. And I really hope that Spotify and Apple and all the other services don't mind a really long title. I kind of hoping that there's not a character limit for how long a title could be. Apparently back in the 90s they didn't have a character limit because social media and that stuff didn't exist yet. So it'll be a fun time putting this online for you folks. And if for some reason you guys don't see the full title, just blame the internet.
Yep. So air date is December 16th, 1993, and this is the last episode for 1993. Because the following week is Christmas and the following week is New Year's. So
So they're going on their little
winter break.
They're going on winter break. Who doesn't like winter break? I like going on winter break.
But here at the Simpsons Did It podcast, we never take a break.
Yes.
We always bring you a new episode. Yeah. Recap. Springfield legalizes gambling, leading Mr. Burns to open a casino, and Marge becomes an addict.
Now, okay, so in Wisconsin, there have been, a few casinos, which have mostly been on tribal land, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't till very recently, right, that they put some casinos within, Milwaukee city limits? Or have those always been there? Like, Potawatomi, I know, is, downtown now.
Yeah, I know there's a couple casinos here in Green Bay that are owned, I believe, by the tribes.
Okay. Because I was always wondering, now sports betting's allowed in Wisconsin.
Only at the casinos.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out, because Minnesota, casinos can only be on tribal lands here, and there's no sports betting anywhere in the state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's whatever state Springfield is in, obviously not Nevada, because, that state has legalized gambling. And they also make a joke about going to Nevada, so so we know they're not there.
Yeah. We actually get a chalkboard this week. I will not say Springfield just to get applause, which is kind of the trope of when I saw this, my first thought went to wrestling, because that's a huge, easy way for a good guy to get applause when they go to the city they're traveling to. They'll say oh yeah, local sports team here in the city of where the local sports teams play is awesome, and then everybody will cheer.
Hello, St. Louis.
Yeah, or rock bands, or maybe some comedians. They'll say the name just to get a cheer. Look, I know when I watch TV shows or listen to comedians, And they talk about like, oh yeah, we went to Wisconsin, or like, we cheer kind of internally sometimes, or externally, depending on if it's a comedian.
Yep. Yeah.
So Bart apparently was doing something, and he said the word Springfield, and everybody applauded, and Krabappel didn't like it.
It reminds me of, the upcoming episode. What is it? It's in a few weeks, Bart gets famous. I didn't do it line. And remember how all the kids are in the classroom? They're all looking at him. They're like, say the line, Bart.
Bart.
And then they all cheer after Bart says the line. It kind of reminded me of that. But this is a little bit early. So Bart was kind of prepping to be famous. He was like, okay, I'm going to say this word over and over again and get applause.
Yes. So our couch gag this week. This is kind of a repeat. So when we did Homer's Barbershop Quartet, they did the clapboard gag where you had 3 different couch gags. They took one of the couch gags from that, and it's the one where they run into each other and they like all break because they're glass.
Yeah. It's funny. You would think, oh, this is a new. So, okay. So look at it like this. The Barbershop Quartet, first episode of the season, they were doing some test gags. They were trying to see which ones play. And now we're on episode 10. They're like, all right, we did a focus group. We had some people watch these couch gags. This one made the cut. So they introduced it, right?
No, because we'll get into that for next week.
I think it's funny. Well, no. That one made the cut too. I think did the third one make the cut? I don't know if the third one made the cut.
I don't know.
We'll have to keep on it. All right, so let's kick off this episode with news on parade by Corporation News. So Abe and Jasper are at a movie theater, and so back in the olden times, they actually did war newsreels and basically things going on at the movies, because not everyone had TVs at home, but a lot of people went to the movies. So they did all their newsreels and stuff at the movie theater so people could actually see, what was going on in the world. And the current events we get are nuclear bomb testing, which the guy's just sitting there like smiling, ready to go, and all of a sudden the bomb goes off, the nuclear material, whatever, the cloud comes in, hits him. Then all of a sudden you see his teeth start falling out, and then dies. Yeah. Yeah. We get new gadgets, a television, which, hey, look, it was, that for them, it was new at the time. And I like how there's just showing a train coming at us. Must be an episode of like Rocky and Bullwinkle, or
I don't know. Well, it's funny because like the family in the commercial freaks out because the train like crashes.
So this is like the first television ever.
Maybe.
Like TV just made its debut and people are scared.
Yes.
Okay. And then Springfield on the grow.
City on the grow.
Oh, sorry. City on the grow. Yeah. So back then, Springfield was extremely popular. They were like, was like top 200 cities in the country or something?
I thought it was like top 50.
Or top 50? Yeah. I mean, what happened to them? They really fell off.
Well, as we'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, but they have a Springfield Aqua Car company where the cars are being manufactured and then right into the river, and you see them flowing down. Now, would that just be a boat?
No, it was a car.
Dude, man, it's a car that drives on water.
No, it drives in water.
Oh, it runs on water.
It runs on water. So a boat. No, man. It runs on water. But these cars drive in water. They're amphibious.
Apparently. Now, I don't think there's scuba though, or submarine. I don't know if they go underwater. They just ride on. No. It's an easy way to get down the river, man.
I don't know if that would really work.
No, probably not. Okay. So what about those Jeeps that have, the snorkel on the outside of them, so they can actually ride in water? You've seen those, right?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, you've never seen them? Look them up. They're pretty cool. So they're for like the outdoorsy type. They're actually a Jeep. So Jeep Wrangler Jeep company, and they actually have a snorkel on them for the engine. So you could actually go midway in the water and the engine would still work. They're actually pretty cool.
Okay.
So yeah, check them out. So I can't say this is a future prediction because these cars look more sedan-y than Jeep. But
yeah,
if you guys don't know, go check it out. The Jeep company makes some aqua cars, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
So then we see that it's a flashback with Abe and Jasper at a movie at the Aztec.
Yep.
As they're walking out, we get the billboard on the Aztec featuring Ray Milland in Tame the Mighty Hudson.
Yes.
Who's the Mighty Hudson? Is it a boxer? Or
the
a
river.
Lion? Oh, it's a river.
The Hudson River?
Oh, you gotta tame it, huh? I mean, I've never personally visited the Hudson River, so I don't know how outlandishly crazy it is, but
yeah,
we do know that planes like crashing in it.
Correct, they do.
Yep. But yeah, as Jasper and Abe are walking down the street, they're, kind of gloating about their city, and they're like, oh, this streets used to be paved with gold. And I like how Jasper's like, they actually are. And you see like a car just skidding down the road.
Yeah, I don't think building your roads with precious metals is a very smart idea.
No, because gold isn't a friction heavy.
No,
material.
It's very smooth.
Yes, so like your tires would probably spin out like we see.
Yes,
as they're walking down the road. But yeah, we cut to present day, and obviously you see it kind of fade to the shittiness of Springfield. Like it, it's like it's really weird. I feel like we've seen the Aztec in a better light than this. Like I feel like the Aztec part of town isn't the rundown part of Springfield, that we've seen before.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you'd agree with that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah. But yeah, so when we cut to present day, they're, walking down the street, and Abe and Jasper walk by an adult movie theater, which movies include Sperms of Endearment and I'll Do Anyone. Now, these porno movies are spoofs on the James L. Brooks produced films Terms of Endearment and I'll Do Anything.
Okay.
So if you guys already don't know, James L. Brooks is an executive producer on The Simpsons. So
correct.
So it's kind of funny they used his movie titles to make some good porno movies. Now, for those of you kids out there that don't know, is they actually do this in real life.
It's called Rule 34 is it is a porn rule, but
yes, where they take movie titles and turn them into porn movie titles. The best one that I could think of just off the top of my head is Armageddon.
That's just awful.
Off the top of my head, that's the one I always remember because it's such an outlandish title. But then Jasper and Abe run into a homeless guy, and the homeless guy walks up to Grandpa, and he's like, "Got any spare change, man?" "Yes, and you won't be getting any of it. Anybody want something for nothing?" And then Grandpa and Jasper walked into a Social Security office. "I'm old. Gimme.
Oh, God, that's hilarious. That's great.
That's a great turn, man. Old people are just as bad as homeless people, I guess.
Well, so, I mean, the whole point is they're retired, and they're supposed to get their money back.
Yeah.
But obviously that's the joke, and I explained it.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we cut to the power plant where Homer is in the bathroom and he finds a pair of glasses in the toilet.
Gross.
Yeah, I wouldn't put those on. Like,
no.
That seems like dumb. Don't do that,
Correct.
guys. Don't put on prescription glasses that aren't yours, and definitely don't put on glasses that you find in a toilet. He
Correct.
didn't even wash them off. But Homer puts on the glasses. And he parodies the scene in Wizard of Oz from 1993 when the Scarecrow demonstrates his newly acquired intelligence when the wizard gives him his brain by citing the law that governs the length of sides of an isosceles triangle. But unlike in Wizard of Oz, somebody in the bathroom points out that the Pythagorean theorem recited applies to right-angle triangles, not isosceles triangles.
Unless there is a right angle in the triangle.
Yes. That was awesome. That was fantastic. Because if you guys don't know, glasses make you smarter.
Correct.
Nerd! But then we find out that Henry Kissinger is visiting the power plant. And he's visiting with Mr. Burns. Yep. And, he's like, I lost my glasses. And Mr. Burns is like, oh, I'm sure they'll turn up. And then we go to his like brain. He's like, yep. I hope no one notices that I dropped my glasses in the bathroom.
Yeah. And the whole point is because he helped write the Paris Peace Accord.
Yep. Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the smart guy, and it's dumb. Yeah. How did he manage? Like, was he like standing over the toilet, took off his glasses because he wanted to clean them, and then he fumbled them into the toilet?
No, I don't know who would do this well. Well, okay, this is actually something that I could think about. So he took off his glasses to pee in the toilet, put the ear part on his shirt, just kind of hooks it in his shirt, bent over to flush the toilet, the handle on the toilet, and then the glasses fell off of his shirt and into the toilet.
But why would you take off your glasses to pee?
So you can aim better? No, I don't know.
Have you ever worn glasses in your life? I am currently wearing a pair of prescription glasses. I have not once ever taken my glasses off to go to the bathroom. Now, I have gone to the bathroom without them on, but that's usually at night and they're sitting on my nightstand.
Yeah.
But I have never gone to the bathroom like, oh man, I'm about to drop this wicked deuce. I need to take off my glasses to concentrate. Like, no, the only possible explanation, well, there's two, is one, he took them off to clean them and he fumbled them into the toilet, or two, there was something broken on the glasses. He bent over to like tie a shoe or something, or to check something, and they fell off.
Yeah.
So, but no, he did not put them on his shirt to take a piss.
Okay. So then, after Henry Kissinger leaves, Smithers, Smithers tells Burns that his plant is losing money, and Burns like, well, I've survived many 12 recessions, 8 panics, and 5 years of McKinleyomics,
which is a joke at Reaganomics.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, Burns been in the power plant industry, and I mean, okay, look at it like this. So my business that I'm in, working at electronics retailer, we've been around coming on 24 years. Yeah. And I mean, we outlasted, Circuit City. We're a small family owned company, but I mean, we outlasted Circuit City, Ultimate Electronics, Radio Shack. I mean, we've hit, those recessions too, but our companies survive. So I kind of get what Burns is talking about.
Now, here's my question. This is 93, late 93.
Yep.
Has there been 12 economic recessions since he started working at the plant, or even owning the plant?
To
be fair, we've been through 2 recessions in our lifetime. In 10 years.
In 10 years. So
actually, it's been more like 15, because the first recession started in 08.
Yep. Okay. So, I mean, 2 and 15. So that would mean
100 it's a lot of years.
Yeah.
It's like 100. It's like 180 years or something like that.
Yeah, maybe not. So probably not. I would probably have to guess not. I mean, maybe 8 panics, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely. I mean, we've seen the stock market fluctuate in pretty drastic.
And 5 years of McKinleyomics. Well, I mean, we've been living through like 60 years of Reaganomics. Yeah. So.
Yep. But Smithers suggests layoffs. And Bert
Yeah.
starts pointing at the people at the bar. He's like, okay, him, and better keep the egghead. He just might come in handy. And he's pointing at Homer wearing the Kissinger glasses. But it's really funny if you slow it down and look at each monitor. The first two are just random employees. The third one actually kind of looked like Lenny.
It probably was.
It was kind of funny. I was like, firing Lenny? No, don't fire Lenny.
I mean, he'll just bring him back because, I mean, how many times has Homer quit and been fired and brought back?
Well, we know that this episode he did.
Yep. So we cut back to the house, and Homer's still wearing the glasses, and Lisa is telling Homer not to wear somebody else's glasses, which I don't know if you've ever done this with your friends. I've done this quite a lot. And I don't know why this is a thing that people are like, oh, let me see your glasses. Let me see how bad your eyesight is. It's like, okay, but you're not going to be able to see much because, you know, this prescription is specifically for my eyesight.
Oh, I've put it on Shay's glasses before and I've gotten dizzy.
Yeah,
like dizzy.
So for you people out there who have either, and I've done it too, I've worn other people's prescriptions and I've never gotten dizzy. But if you have like perfect eyesight or near perfect eyesight, or even if you don't have good eyesight, probably not a good idea to wear somebody else's glasses. As Steve specifically disproved, you might get dizzy.
Yeah, well, it's funny though. Shay put on my glasses because she wanted to see my prescription. Yeah. She's like, these things do literally nothing.
How bad is Shay's eyesight?
Shay's eyesight's pretty bad.
Okay.
She can see stuff really close up, but other than that, it's pretty bad. But she puts on mine.
I was gonna say, don't you have 20/20 in one of your eyes?
Yeah. So one of my left eye is pretty much 20/20. There's a minor prescription for it just to counteract my right eye. My right eye, just garbage. Like if I close.
What did you do?
I don't know. I mean, it was really weird. I mean, that's how I noticed it when I was 16. Because so the optometrist basically said your left eye is compensating so much for your right eye because both my eyes together are pretty. Like I could close or read stuff 20/20 far away with both eyes.
Okay.
But as soon as I close, like my left eye, my right eye can't see garbage. But if I close my, looking at my pops up on my wall, like I could close my right eye and read even the tiniest print on my cans. So it's really.
I'm blind as a bat. Like I'm sitting about, I don't know, 2 feet away from my some posters, and I can read the letters. But they're pretty fucking blurry. Like my eyesight is not great. So, Homer looks at Bart thinking he's speaking to Lisa and he goes, well, just because you're 10 feet tall doesn't mean you can tell me what to do. And Lisa's like, I'm over here, Dad. Like, that's fantastic. Because that's what happens when you wear other people's glasses and the prescription is not meant for you.
Yeah.
So they're watching the news where they've learned that Kissinger was sent to the hospital after walking into a wall, presumably because he doesn't have his glasses and he can't see very well. But even now, it's a funny joke, but even I would be able to see a wall coming up on me if I wasn't wearing my glasses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should be able to.
And
unless you're blind.
I don't. Well, yeah. If you're blind, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why you have a cane.
Yep. Yeah.
So now we go to Ken Brockman, who's at the unemployment office, where he says it's not as happy as it once was, and it's not just for philosophy majors anymore, which I thought was hilarious. He's like, useful people are feeling the pinch. So it's funny because when I got my major, I was a comm major in college, and I remember I was at one of my really good friends' house, and his dad asked me what my major was, and I go, I'm a comm major. Like, not even missing a beat. He's like, so have you learned the phrase, are your fries are ready? Because he's like, you're going to be working at McDonald's. And it's like there's plenty of stuff I can do with a comm major.
Yeah.
And I had 3 different emphasis and
Well, what's really funny is, so I listen to this morning show here in Minneapolis every morning, and
Yeah.
it just so happened that this morning they were talking about going to college for being on the radio and stuff like that. And he was like, after I graduated, I walked into the radio station, told him I had a degree. He's like, "Oh, we would have hired you without the degree." And apparently, like half the people on the staff already got jobs and didn't have degrees in communication or radio broadcasting. And I was like,
"Yeah,
well, could you do that you couldn't do that in TV? There's no way, right? Or maybe
maybe back in the day you could have, but here's the thing, especially with TV, the training is a lot more extensive. You don't necessarily need a degree. I did work with a guy who literally walked into the ABC station here in Green Bay and was hired. Now, I don't know if he had a college degree, but he had no training.
Yeah.
Like,
but I feel like a degree isn't training, though. You gotta...
Well, I mean, I did do stuff for television and a little bit of radio in college.
Okay.
To, help me secure a job, which honestly didn't really help. Guess what did? Experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you don't necessarily need a degree, but it helps because you go through training when you get it. And so Kent, interviews Barney Gumble, and Barney is like, well, I haven't been able to find a job in 6 years. And Kent's like, well, what do you have in training? He's like, I've got 5 years of training in modern dance and 6 years of tap. Don't think that's what Kent meant, Barney. But we did learn Barney is probably a good dancer.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to be a big baby, right?
Yeah.
What else? He's had a lot of jobs, but I don't... He should join the ballet.
Yeah. So as we learn, the reason for the higher unemployment in Springfield is because they closed Fort Springfield, which devastated the liquor and prostitution industry.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, I would have to talk to an army guy about this, but I guess I can see, especially like maybe Navy. I've heard like Navy, like sailors, they tend to go towards more prostitution, but I'm not 100%. So if any of our listeners were in the military and would like to comment on if this is a real thing that people in the military drink a lot and spend money on hookers, please let us know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And I like how Kent blames the viewers for all this, which is, we're not going to get into that. I'm going to get yelled at. We'll continue on. So we go to a town hall meeting where Quimby suggests using the rest of the money for him to move and become a mayor of a new town. Yeah. And he's like, and I'll send for you. And they all boo him because he's
like, I promise that I'll use whatever's left of the town's treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor. And once elected, I will send for the rest of you. Now,
boo.
Yeah, boo. Now, the funny thing about this is there's actually a theory going on. The reason why we never know where Springfield is because they actually keep moving the town of Springfield to different locations. And that's why like Homer's address changes and stuff like that. And like the big one is, we haven't got there yet, the last exit of Springfield where they destroy the town for garbage, and they literally pick up Springfield and move it. So that's kind of the running theory. I actually found this online not too long ago. Like, that's why we don't exactly know where Springfield is, because they keep picking up the town and moving it.
Yeah. And so Lisa gets up and she goes to Mayor Quimby. I didn't really like this part because Lisa's much smarter than this. Yeah, and she's like,
excuse me, Mr. Mayor. The chair recognizes the little chick with the gleam of hope in her eyes.
And she's like, I saved up money and it's $15. And Quimby is like, good, tip money for the flight attendants.
No, the sky jockeys.
Sky jockeys, thank you. I couldn't think of the term that he used. And I didn't feel like pausing it and rewinding it, which I thought. And again, Lisa knows who Mayor Quimby is. Why? I don't understand that little exchange there. So Abe Simpson gets up and he yells about what used to make Springfield great, which is, little elbow grease, little can-do attitude and elbow grease. And he falls asleep right in the middle of his speech. And Skinner stands up and he's like, well, how about legalized gambling? And everybody cheers, and he's like, we could use the revenue to help the education system, which the crowd just like crickets. Which, yeah, it's typical America. But
see, the funny thing about legalized gambling, this is kind of, I don't know if this is necessarily true for gambling in like Minnesota or any other states where, you know, the taxes from it go help, you know, other things. But I do know that things like when states legalize marijuana, the taxes from that actually go to help education and the city. So it's
also our normal taxes are supposed to do that, but again, we're gonna move on. And Patty goes, "Well, I'm okay with the gambling part of Skinner's plan."
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. So then Ned asks Reverend Lovejoy, and Lovejoy's like, well, if something's approved by the government, it's no longer immoral.
Oh, God. We could say so many things about that line.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then Burns says, oh, I could build a casino and then tighten my grip on Springfield. And then everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know why anyone would let Burns do literally anything in this town.
Because he's the only one with money.
I guess he could put the money into it. And then Barney stands up and burps. And then everyone cheers. Because Barney had to put in his 2 cents.
Yes.
And then I like how Quimby asks, is anyone object to legalizing gambling? And everyone starts grumbling, well, what if Marge? And everyone looks at Marge. She's like, well, I think it'll help the town. Yeah. And then everyone cheers.
Yeah.
I mean, Marge was against a lot of things so far, like the monorail and everything, a lot of other things.
Yes.
But gambling.
Yeah, but Main Street is still all cracked and broken.
So they can use the gambling money to fix Main Street.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Quimby says he can, okay, I'll stay and grow fat with the kickbacks and slush funds.
Oh, yeah. Good old Mayor Quimby.
Never lets us down. He's pretty consistent. No. There's one thing I can say about Mayor Quimby. He's definitely a consistent mayor.
Yes.
And then as they're walking out, Homer thinks that he's like, and we're going to do something good for the children. Was he only paying attention to the Skinner thing, maybe?
I don't know. Well, as we'll find out, Homer does not pay attention.
No, Homer does not pay attention at all.
Yeah.
But if you want, okay, but to be fair, this line almost goes back to he was only listening to Skinner and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, he was at the meeting, as we'll find out.
Yeah. And so now, the town square is literally slowly changing into Vegas. Like everyone getting drunk, hookers on the streets, just all sorts of debauchery happening all over the town square. I mean, that moved pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I do have something I want to point out before we move on from the town square. So among the items tossed into the air to celebrate Springfield's decision to legalize gambling are a purse, a hairbrush, dentures,
makes sense,
and a whole bunch of hats.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
Yep.
So now we head over to Burns and the mayor walking down the boardwalk. So here we go. We're expanding Springfield even more because this was back when we talked with McElfresh about, bodies of water in Springfield. And we actually explained during that Halloween episode about how the Simpsons had a boardwalk. And this is the first episode where we learn the Springfield is on a lake. And it has a whole boardwalk lake in California. Like I wouldn't say this is an ocean. I mean, it looks like a big body of water. It almost looks like a Lake Michigan size of body of water.
I don't know. Could be the ocean. Look, we don't know where Springfield is. You were thinking too much about this. Let's move on.
But they now have a boardwalk.
Yes, they have a boardwalk.
They have a boardwalk now. Where Burns has a flashback of driving bumper cars into an employee.
Oh, God, that was hilarious.
What a happy little kid. Such a happy little kid, man.
Yeah.
And I like how Burns, we cut back, small Burns is laughing, and then we cut back to present day Burns, who's laughing. I mean, have you ever thought of something so much that it's just nonstop laughter? Like, you laugh for like
Not
10
for
minutes.
like, oh yeah, for that, yes. This time frame with Burns, no.
No, okay, you haven't laughed for a full day.
No.
Yeah, he's laughing, he's laughing in the shower, laughing in bed, laughing in church. Then he's back at work, I'm assuming the next day, and he's just still laughing. And then he finally stops. He's like, I don't remember what I was laughing about. And then we kind of pause for a beat. He's like, oh yeah, and starts laughing again.
I've kind of done that before, where I'm laughing about something, and then I forget, and then I remember and start laughing again. I've done that.
Okay. But yeah, so Burns is now bringing in a bunch of people to pitch casino design ideas. Yep. And we get Britannia casino from a British guy. And, he's like, oh, it includes everything, including the I can't remember what he called the
basically like a waitress.
Yeah, the waitress. And she's like the typical stereotype women with the horrible teeth, bad posture. Freshen your drink, governor.
Get out.
Get out. And then the hippie comes in, and before he can even pitch the idea, he's like, get out. What was that? That was just called Woodstock. Like, there wasn't even a clever name for it. He actually called it Woodstock. And there was a bunch of tents. It wasn't even a casino.
How do you know? Maybe the different tents had the games in it.
Ooh, maybe. And so then the sea captain comes. He's like, okay, I need a man and 3 ships, and we'll sail around the world collecting. And he's like, we're building a casino. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I don't know what the hell he thought he was pitching.
I don't know.
But Burns is like, oh, I'll just have to design the casino myself. I know what it needs: sex appeal and a catchy name. Cut to Mr. Burns Casino with a neon sign of Burns as a merman. That's some good sex appeal there.
Sex appeal for who? 100-year-old ladies?
Exactly. And so now we cut to Lisa back at home, and she's telling Marge that the school is doing a state pageant, which I don't think we ever did a state pageant. We've done pageants before, but nothing based on.
I never did a pageant.
No, like at school, I guess it was more of like an assembly thing, like a presentation assembly thing, not necessarily.
Well, there was that, but that's an assembly, not a pageant.
Yeah, which is kind of weird for a school, but she doesn't know what to go as, and so I like how Marge suggests that she goes Nevada, and Lisa's like, Nevada makes my butt look big.
Does Nevada make your butt look big, Steve?
Yeah, I would probably go as Illinois, Indiana.
Not Wisconsin?
No, Wisconsin would make my chest look big.
Wouldn't you want that?
I don't know. What other?
Would you want your chest to look bigger?
I don't know. California would probably make your butt look big too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so that was cool. And then Marge is like, well, what about Florida? You like orange juice and old people? And old people like Lisa, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I guess, Florida. She could go as Florida woman.
Florida would actually be fine because it's a slimming shape once it goes down your body.
Yeah. Like it is the Wang of America, though.
It is, yes.
So, Lisa asks Homer for advice, but Homer's trying to teach Maggie how to gamble.
It's like, Marge's like, why are you teaching Maggie how to gamble? And Homer's like, I got a job at Burns' casino. As you know, it's been my lifelong dream to become a blackjack dealer. And Marge is like, your lifelong dream was to become a contestant on the Gong Show. And you did it in 1977, remember?
And then we get a flashback of Homer and Barney on the Gong Show, sharing overalls and playing a large harmonica.
How many gongs did he get?
So, they went up against a breakdancing robot. And they still got more gongs than that, even though it caught on fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a breakdancing robot, that's got to be cooler than Homer and Barney in a...
But I'm assuming somebody's controlling the robot. So, like, when it caught on fire, the guy who made the robot got a gong because the robot broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and for some reason, they also have a blood bank on the premise. Well, no, that's at the casino. That's at the casino, isn't it? Yeah. So now we go back to the casino and we learn that there's a blood bank on the premise, which is kind of cool. So if you lose some blood and they have your type, they can infuse you with more blood.
Exactly.
So that's kind of neat. I think more casinos might want to do that, or maybe not, because that might cost more.
Well, turn it into a hospital, because as we see, Marge, spends an exorbitant amount of time there, like probably everyone in Springfield. So if you don't have time to go to a hospital, having a blood bank on site is super helpful.
Yeah. We learned that Gary Cooney, is it Gary or Jerry?
I think it's Jerry.
Is it Jerry Cooney?
Jerry Cooney.
He's the official greeter of Mr. Burns' casino, and he is voiced by this guy. I don't know anything about this guy.
Jerry
I think
Cooney?
I'm assuming he was a boxer.
Yeah.
Okay. Because as we see, Otto comes to the casino.
Well, he's an ex-heavyweight boxer.
Did he ever win?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did he win like the belt?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about boxing, and I didn't really want to look into him because I don't really care about boxing. So Otto comes, and he's greeted by Cooney, but Cooney won't leave Otto alone. He's like, "Oh, we have this thing," and Otto's like,
"Join our VIP club."
And Otto's like, "Leave me alone," and he won't. And so Otto punches him and knocks him out with one punch, which is hilarious. Great. That's a great joke. I figured the dude was a boxer because of that reference.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we cut to Homer, who's a blackjack dealer, and it sounds like he keeps
15,
hitting and then
15,
breaking.
21, 28,
32. And everybody is happy. And we get our first appearance of the rich Texan who Homer calls Senator.
So, is he actually from Texas? Is that kind of the running gag on him?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, he's a rich Texan, and he comes to Springfield to spend his money.
Yeah. Do you think he's a senator in Texas?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he's senators go all over the place to do illegal crap. So then Homer shifts ends, and then everybody's like, "All right, we're gonna leave," because they're not.
Have you ever done that where you're on a hot streak at a table and the dealer leaves, and you're like, "Okay, well, I don't trust this new guy. I gotta get out of here."
No, because I don't normally gamble. I've tried blackjack a few times. I didn't do so well. I did okay at the craps table when we were in Detroit. I know you did pretty well when you were in Detroit, but I actually, not craps, roulette. I did craps in Vegas, and I did all right. We were doing the $5 craps, but we were doing the electronic craps, so there wasn't a dealer.
I hate electronic stuff. So like they have.
But here's the thing with the electronic. It's not really electronics. So you remember the board game Trouble?
Yeah.
So basically, it's like when you roll the dice, it's kind of like that.
You don't know if those are weighted in there or computer chipped or anything. It's kind of like
it's random. It is random. No, it is random because my friends were on that thing and they went on like a 12-game win streak with that thing. Those things are not rigged. Again, it's a $5 bet.
Yeah. Well,
what's the point? What's the point of rigging a $5 bet? Now, if it was like a $30 electronic, oh yeah, you bet your ass they're gonna probably try to do something to make it, more riggable.
They have computerized roulette. So at Mystic
Lake,
I hated computerized. At Mystic Lake, there was a computerized roulette table, and the first variation of it was actually all electronic. All of it, everything.
I've done it. Yeah, I've done that.
So now at Mystic Lake, you pick everything digitally, like you pick your numbers and everything digitally, but it's actually a real ball going in a roulette wheel inside the table.
they have that at Vegas too, where you just pick your number digitally and then somebody actually spins the ball in the roulette.
See, those I trust. I could trust the guy spinning the ball. The machine spinning the ball? I'm not on that.
No, I broke even on an all electronic roulette wheel, which I'm fine with, and I don't lose any money. But so Abe is playing craps, which once you learn craps, it's a lot of fun. But it's not a hard game to learn, but there's a few things you have to know.
Yeah, I never wanted to learn craps.
It's very easy to learn. It is. if you go with somebody who knows how to play. Okay. If you're learning on the fly, it's very hard. Okay. But Abe can't roll the dice.
Are they just stuck in his hand?
Or yeah. Oh no. He said he wouldn't roll the dice because he wasn't ready to roll because Skinner yells at him to roll the dice, and he's like, no. And then, I'm sorry. Apu tells him to roll the dice. He's like, no, I'm not going to roll the dice. And then the dealer's like, you need to roll the dice, sir. So Abe's like, fine. But he drops the dice, and one of them goes into his slipper, and he walks away. And he's like, ow. It's like, I get he's old, but take off the slipper and get the dice out.
Is there rules on like how quick you have to roll the dice?
I don't know. Well, so on the electronic craps table, like where you just push a button and it rolls it for you, I believe you get 30 seconds to place your bets.
Okay.
At a real table, I would assume, they probably give you a time limit. You probably get like 30 seconds. The dealer's like, okay, no more betting. And the guy rolls his dice. So now we go to the casino where, they have shows and, we didn't go to a show. We wanted to see the Blue Man Group when we were in Vegas, but unfortunately we did not. I don't remember if it was a time thing or they weren't playing. But we really just kind of wandered around Vegas and then gambled a little bit. But at this casino, they have the flamboyant magic of Gunther and Ernst, which is the parody of Siegfried and Roy.
Oh, that was good. That's really funny. I wonder if
this is their first appearance because I believe they're in a couple other episodes.
They are. I kind of wonder if they asked Siegfried and Roy to do an episode, guest voice.
Yeah.
And they said no, so we're like, you know what? Fine. We're just gonna make fun of you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And so we got their tiger, white Bengal tiger on the stage. Now, I wonder, there's actually white Bengal tigers, right? They're not considered albino?
I believe they're white and not albino.
Okay, because I was wondering that if there's actually a white tiger, because the eyes, if you look at the eyes of the tiger, they're kind of reddish or orange. So I was kind of like, is it an albino tiger or is it a real tiger that's white?
Is it a white Bengal tiger?
That's what I'm wondering. But anyway, so
yeah, they're white. Okay. Oh no, they are albino because it's the lack of pigment, pheomelanin. So I would assume.
Okay.
So cool. I guess that would technically be considered because an albino, it's the lack of pigment.
Yep.
So yeah, so they're albino.
Cool. So they not only do they have a tiger, but it's an albino tiger, and its name is Anastasia. And he comes out on a unicycle. And I like how one of them says, it's nicer than, he's like, yeah, this is nicer than the jungle that you came from. And so we get a flashback. They're in the jungle. The tiger's literally just chilling. Yep. And he's like, picks his head up, looks around. He's like, nighty night, tiger. And then
the tiger was
he was already sleeping, man.
Yeah, but I suppose no, because if you try to move the tiger's probably gonna wake up.
He'll probably try to kill you. But
so in this instance, it was probably smart to wake him up and then put him back to sleep.
Yep. And so Tiger obviously has a long memory, and he attacks him for waking him up and taking him to the show. And so this is a prediction alert. From 10 years after this episode aired was when Roy was attacked by their tiger.
Yep. So, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, the Simpsons can predict the future. And it's like, but it's just we're humans and they're bound to be able to do this. And you have a tiger. Yeah, you've trained the tiger, but it's still a tiger.
Yeah.
But 10 years almost, I think if I read, it was almost 10 years to the day that this episode aired.
Wow. That's See, I mean,
something like that.
That's the funny thing. You can literally write anything,
Yeah,
and have it not come true. But you can literally write anything, and maybe it's bound to come true. Like
and maybe going back on your thing where they asked Siegfried and Roy to voice, and they wouldn't do it. So they're like, "Screw this! We're gonna have the tiger attack their counterparts."
That's right.
As a joke.
Yep. And so I like how Bart's. Was he at the craps table?
Yeah, I think so.
And gambling, and the squeaky teen voiced teenager comes up and he's like, "Hey, how old are you?" And,
how old are you?
Yeah, how old are you? And he's like, well, did he actually say an age, or was it just he kicked him out?
He's like, yeah, he just kicks him out.
Well, what are you gonna do? Go open up your own casino in your treehouse? I'd like to see that. And then over to Bart's house, we get a Bart casino up in his treehouse.
By the way, Bart did tell the squeaky voiced teenager that the martini sucked.
Yo,
so apparently right. Bart is drinking, but he's 10, so he probably doesn't have a taste for liquor yet.
Yeah, probably not. But we cut to Bart's casino, and he's like, yeah, okay, shut me up.
Yeah.
Yep. So now Marge shows up at the casino, to say hi to Homer.
Yeah.
And
oh my God,
I like
so
this.
great.
So Homer's photographic memory here. He's like, yelling at us like, Marge, remember when you said you didn't like, it's like recalling Marge was opposed to the legalized gambling. We see Homer's memory of Marge having green hair.
Yep.
Pooh has 3 heads.
Yep.
And Homer's own body is buff and trim.
Also, I like to point out there's an old man in a bikini.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an old man in a bikini.
Oh, Homer's memory, man. He's he just.
Well, I love I love how the fact so Marge comes in and Homer is like, "Well, you were against it," and Marge's like, "No, I was actually for." And he's like, "Well, that's strike 3. I was at that meeting. I have a photographic memory." And he actually pointed it to his head, which was good.
Oh, Homer, your memory is a little bit jumbled from all that alcohol.
And, falling down the Springfield Gorge.
And falling down the Springfield Gorge, yep.
And falling down the stairs. And just in generally getting hit in the head.
Yep. So Marge, is on her way out of the casino, but she finds a quarter on the floor. She's like, play one. So she sticks it into the slot machine and wins. But I like how she sticks it in, pulls the lever, and walks away. And
she won. She won. She looks at her watch and then she walks away.
Oh, I thought she walked away after she put the quarter in.
No,
she was like, either I'm not going to win or I really don't care what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she goes back for more. And so now we cut back to Bart at his casino and he's walking around. He's like, hey, how's it going?
This. This is probably one of my favorite sight gags of The Simpsons.
Yeah. So he was walking around. Hey, how's it going? Hey, good to see you. Tell your friends. Looking lucky. Hey, what's happening? Love the jacket. And and so then we see on the billboard outside Bart's casino is like Millhouse next week, an evening with Jimbo.
So like that evening it was Millhouse.
Yep.
And then next week, what's an evening with Jimbo? Does he just beat you up and take your money?
Tells you jokes. I don't know. I've been to a couple evenings with Kevin Smith and he just sits on the stage and tells stories.
Yeah, but Kevin Smith isn't a bully.
No. I mean, I feel like if it's a show, though, it'd be him telling stories about him being a bully.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite sight gag.
Yep. So now we get a gambling board. First one on the gambling board, we got Kerbopple, Nervous Breakdown, 2-1 odds. Which
those are pretty good odds.
That's a pretty good odds.
I mean, it's Bart. Bart, if Bart's involved, honestly, I would give that 1-1, not 2-1.
Yeah. Fat Kid Popular, 50-1.
Okay.
I mean, well, there was that time that dude, you could have put a bet on that because next season when Martin gets a pool, he becomes popular.
Yeah, but is he fat or is he just chubby?
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
No. So are we going Uter fat? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Uter fat.
Uter fat. Okay. Bart gets his own TV show. 1,000-1.
He still hasn't gotten his own TV show, but he's been popular a lot. Or did he get his own TV show?
No, I don't think he's had his own TV show.
Okay.
So after, here's what's going to happen. After The Simpsons finally shut down, That's when we're going to get our Bart Simpson spin-off show.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So now we get Milhouse trying to do magic, where he tries to stick a cat in a hat, but
No. The cat is already under his hat. He's trying to stick a cat into a box.
Oh, it's in the box. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's trying to stick a cat in the box, and then I'm assuming he was going to pull the same
other
cat out of the hat, but the other cat in the hat would not cooperate, and then both cats attack Milhouse.
Yep, and it's hilarious. That's great. Yeah, that's don't try to use cats as props because they're probably not going to cooperate.
Yeah, use bunnies or birds.
Yes.
Those are way more doable.
So now we cut back to the casino and we get a movie reference from the 1988 film Rain Man, and we see Dustin Hoffman's character Raymond Babbitt counting cards, and Homer is like goading him to do more tricks.
Do it again. Count cards again.
And because he's because the character's autistic, he starts to like throw a fit. And Tom Cruise's character also appears as Charlie Babbitt sitting next to him, but he doesn't have any speaking lines.
No.
So do they I don't think they got Dustin Hoffman to come back to do this though.
No, they didn't. But yeah. It's kind of, I mean, it's a great reference. Like, it's kind of cool to throw something like that in. And the Simpsons early on were doing that. They were throwing a lot of movie references. But it's thank God it's a newer one that I didn't have to look up to get. I actually knew that movie reference.
I knew the movie reference, but don't hate me. I've actually never watched Rain Man.
Oh, you never seen Rain Man? We saw that. I thought we saw that in high school, actually.
I never watched it in high school.
Yeah, I think we watched it in high school, but I think it was one of those movie days where the teacher's like, "All right, take out a book or take out I don't know, just roll in the cart, watch a movie."
Yeah. So now we cut up to Burns' room in the casino, and we learn that the casino has been open for 5 days, and Burns hasn't slept.
Yeah, Smithers comes in. "Sir, you haven't slept since the casino opened 5 days ago." And Mr. Burns is like, "I've discovered the perfect business. People swarm in, empty their pockets, and scuttle off. Nothing can stop me now, except microscopic germs. But we won't let that happen. Will we, Smithers?" And Smithers like, "No, sir."
Yeah, that's fantastic. Mr. Burns' character there, we'll get to in a little bit, but the whole thing is a parody on Howard Hughes, because he was a big germaphobe.
Yeah.
So now we cut back to Marge, who is playing the slot machines still. And she's ignoring Maggie, and Maggie's just sitting on the ground, spinning her pacifier in the air and catching it in her mouth. But she spits it up, and a woman walks by with coins in it and a cup, and the pacifier lands in the cup. So the lady walks off, and Maggie follows her, and she like walks through a crowd, and then she ends up under a craps table, and on not under the craps table, on a craps table, and a guy's like, "Oh, there's a baby on the craps table. That's good luck." And he throws the dice and he rolls snake eyes. Now, here's the thing. Just because he rolled snake eyes doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
No, but I'm guessing the bet that was on the table was bad.
Correct.
That's the only reason people would moan, is because whatever the bet on this table was, snake eyes was a bad bet.
So here's the thing. When it comes to craps, you can either bet, you can bet the line. So if 7 or 11 is rolled, you automatically win. If it's not rolled, then you can keep placing bets if you didn't bet the line. So I'm assuming people bet 7 or 11.
Yeah.
Which is why people were pissed that the snake eyes were rolled. But
I love Barney's quote though. So
we'll get to that in a second. Hold on. Let me finish Maggie's little journey. And so Maggie gets off the craps table, and she comes face to face with Anastasia, and she starts playing with the whiskers. It's a baby. And Barney, picks her up right as I believe the tiger is about to maul her, and returns her to Marge.
Yep.
And then he tells Marge what?
When after Barney returns Maggie to the slot machine, she's like, "Man, that's classic impulsive behavior." Yeah, because Marge is not paying attention whatsoever. And
Yeah.
he spots a waitress carrying cups and screams, "Wow, free beer!" And he instantly downs all 3 cups, and one of which contains quarters, which actually wasn't on the waitress's tray. It was on the dude's slot machine behind the waitress.
Well, you skipped Barney returning Maggie to Marge.
That's what I said.
And the
After
quote.
I
And
don't
Barney
have that part. I don't have that.
So Barney returns Maggie to Marge, and he's like, you should have better careful, be more careful watching little Bart here. He almost got eaten.
Right.
He almost got eaten by that pony.
That's right.
And then Maggie thanks Barney, gives Maggie another pacifier, tells her to stay put, then goes back to the slot machine. Now Barney eats the quarters.
Yes, and then Barney just begins burping up quarters, and a woman rushes over with her coin bucket and screams, "Hey, this guy's paying off!"
I don't know. I don't believe that's how the human body works. I mean, you can eat quarters. Don't get me wrong. You can eat anything.
Well, he'd probably be vomiting up the quarters, not necessarily burping them up.
Burping, yeah. Well, he's either vomiting or sorry, Scrubs reference. He's either vomiting up the quarters or he's gonna have to make a run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Now, how much free beer did you drink in the casino?
Zero free beers.
0 free beers? What kind of casino did you go to?
We were at the Luxor.
Oh, I thought all casinos gave free beer to keep you playing. I don't
know if they do that at the Well, yeah, there was a waitress coming around. I just didn't want anything to drink.
At Mystic Lake, it's soda because you're not allowed to drink
yes.
in casinos. But they actually up the sugar content in the syrup, so you keep drinking more, and they don't put ice in their drink, so it doesn't get watered down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now we get to Krusty's Midnight Show, adults only. And the only thing Krusty talks about is herpes.
Yes, that's an adult show. I think it's more disgusting than adult.
Yeah.
But sure.
Oh my God. That was hilarious. Like, so has anybody had herpes? Anybody have herpes?
No.
So now we cut back to Burns, and he's now very obsessed with germs. He doesn't want to leave his room. And this whole thing, the Burns' obsession with germs and cleanliness and his refusal to leave his bedroom is a parody on, as we said earlier, Howard Hughes. Is Howard Hughes is dead, isn't he?
He's gotta be. Because those germs finally got him.
Or he was murdered. I don't know. Oh yeah, Howard Hughes is dead. He's been dead for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
He died in 76. He lived 71 years. I mean,
that's pretty good. Let's call those germs. He was protecting himself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. 71 years. I don't know what the life expectancy was of males in the born in 1905. That's probably a good lifespan for somebody born 200 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So Homer is gonna go home, and he finds Marge gambling, and Marge just tells Homer to go home without her, and he's like, "I see what's going on here. Everyone loves gambling except for you, Marge." And it's like, how dumb is Homer? Like, I get that Homer is a dumb guy. We know he has a crayon shoved up his brain. Well, we don't know that yet, but we learn that later. But everybody here, I'm hoping most of our listeners have watched extensive amounts of The Simpsons. I'm sorry if you're a first-time viewer of The Simpsons. Spoiler alert. But how can he not, even the dumbest person can't be that non-observant to see that Marge is gambling.
Yeah.
Like, I get he's dumb. I get it, but I can't believe he's this dumb. And so Homer leaves, and Smithers comes by, and he asks Marge if she's gambled enough. And he's like, well, it's required by me by law to ask every 75 hours, which is approximately every 3 days.
So Marge has been gambling without going home for 3 days?
That's what it sounds like.
Jeez.
Now, I don't
I hope
know.
they comped her a free room or something.
Well, maybe she just hasn't left.
No,
She's
well,
been there
he left the casino, so she could have got a room, went upstairs, and, you know.
Possibly. But so here's the thing. Most casinos will ask after 8 to 10 hours of gambling if you're still good, because while they want to take your money, they want to be responsible.
Well, and there's no clocks in casinos, so you might not even know what time it is.
Yeah. So now I don't know if this is required by law, as Smithers says, but it's definitely, I think it's definitely like a rule that most casinos follow because of the fact that you said there are no clocks. Now, nowadays, most people have cell phones.
Yeah.
So I would assume, like, you know, as you're gambling, you're checking your phone, or a lot of people still wear watches. So I could imagine, but if like you're at a casino where there's like nobody really else there, maybe a few other people, they don't have clocks, maybe you left your cell phone in your room. Okay, the dealer will be like, dude, it's been like 8 hours. You need to leave.
Yep. Yeah.
So we cut back to the Simpsons house where it is not clean at all. Nope. And Lisa wonders if the family is falling apart, and Bart is just, Bart is on the phone trying to book a new act. And he's like, yeah, because the Lisa Minnelli impersonator was actually Lisa Minnelli, or Liza Minnelli. I said Lisa.
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli. And he's like, yeah. That's hilarious. I don't know enough about Liza Minnelli to make fun of her.
She must be ugly or something if Bart did that. Or I don't know.
Isn't she a singer? She was a singer, right?
Yeah, so that's really weird.
She is not... I would not consider her to be conventionally attractive.
No.
But I don't know why you want the real thing.
Yeah, but I like how before they go to the casino, Lisa's like, "There's nothing to eat for breakfast," and we're like, "You gotta improvise, Lisa." And he begins by mixing ingredients in a bowl: cloves, Tom's Collins mix, frozen pie crust. Ooh. And then Lisa's like, "Maybe Mom doesn't realize we miss her. We could go down to the casino and let her know." "Aw, come on, Lisa. There's no reason to." And he takes a bite of his breakfast, and his face is classic. He's like, "Oh." And then he speaks with a mouthful of his food. "Okay, let's go see Mom."
So they go to the casino to confront Marge about her gambling, and she's like, "I won $60. Here you go." And Homer's like, "Woohoo!" when they walk away.
It's like, "Woohoo! Problem solved." Because he's like, "You're spending too much time at the casino, and I think you have a problem." Well, okay, so winning $60. I don't know if I like the fact that I like her only playing slots. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think you have better, because I won decent, like, I mean, for the total, like, I was playing, like, I don't know, like the penny slots at the Luxor, and I won like $12.
Okay, penny slots. At least Marge is playing the quarter slots.
It might have been a quarter, I don't remember, but I won $12.
Okay, but the amount of money you put in, I also heard there's a rumor where if you put in like $100 bill, your odds of winning are better than if you go just plug, $1 at a time. That's what I hear. I hear that, but I don't know. By the way, that's true, because I'm not going to drop $100 bill in a fucking slot machine.
No. By the way, there was a story a while back from when this airs. That there's a guy who was in Vegas who won like a bunch of money off of a slot machine, but there was a malfunction within the machine that didn't tell the person that they won. And so the casino actually tracked down the person and gave that person their winnings.
Oh, nice.
I think it was like in the thousands.
Yeah, but I kind of want to know how much money Marge put in to get out 60. Because if she's been there that long and she's only won $60, I don't know, man. That's like maybe it was like win one, lose one, win two, lose two. Like she kept breaking even or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we cut to up in the Burns' suite where he is now grown shaggy hair, a beard, and fingernails, just like Howard Hughes did. And tells Smithers that he just designed a new plane called the Spruce Moose that will carry 200 passengers from New York's Idlewild Airport to the Belgian Congo in 17 minutes. That's a long trip in a
short amount of time.
But so that's a reference to Howard Hughes's H-4 Hercules, which was dubbed the Spruce Goose. Now Smithers goes up to Burrs. He's like, "That's quite a nice model, sir." And then Burrs like, "Model?"
He thinks it's real, as we'll soon. And we'll find out very soon how real he thinks it is.
Oh my God, that's so great. And so Lisa, has a bad dream.
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
And so Lisa's like, "Mom," because Lisa's not, or her mom's not there. Marge's not there to help out. And so Homer's like, "Huh? What? Lisa, what's up? I just had a bad dream." "Oh, sure. You just want to lie down and tell me all about it? Well, I don't know. It's absurd, but I dreamed the boogeyman was after me, and he's hiding in..." And then Homer just screams, jumps out of bed, "Boogeyman, you nail the windows shut. I'll get the gun." And then Homer kicks open the door to Bart's room and does a weird hover over him. "Bart, I don't want to alarm you, but there may be a boogeyman or boogeymen in the house." And then he screams too.
Oh my God. Oh, so good.
And so Marge comes home with a hole in the bedroom door, and Homer, Lisa, and Bart and Maggie are hiding behind the mattress. And Marge is like, "What happened here?" "Oh, nothing, Marge. Just a little incident involving the boogeyman. Of course, none of this would have happened if you had been here to keep me from acting stupid."
I love how it's Marge's fault for Homer being dumb.
Yes. Oh. That's so good. Oh,
I love the fact that when Marge finally
Homer
comes
acknowledges it, okay?
That he's stupid?
Yes.
But then should he control his own stupidity?
No, there's a part in his brain that can't control stupidity.
That's fair. I do love the fact that after everything, calms down, Homer throws his gun to the side and it goes off.
I know. And man, that's just funny because next episode we deal with guns again.
Oh, we do.
Just as bad. Yeah. And so Marge promises to be around more. And Homer says, "Just like on TV." And then trips over a footrest. And then we hear a laugh track in the background.
Because just like TV.
Just like TV. And so now we get Bart stealing Robert Goulet from Burns' casino. And
so he was at the airport or a bus stop. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, that is Robert Goulet.
Yeah, Robert Goulet got to... So they got Robert Goulet, but they couldn't get Siegfried and Roy? Man. I guess...
Did they get... But I feel like they got Siegfried and Roy for a later episode.
Oh, did they? I guess I don't know.
Believe. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. But, so there's a sign at Mr. Burns' casino. Tonight, Robert Goulet. Also, Concrete and Asphalt Expo in 1993. So, I don't know. Well, I guess casinos maybe back then did conventions. Now they're usually just hosted at convention centers. I don't know too many conventions done at... Well, okay, that's not true. Sometimes during the summer, they do the boat show, the RV boat show, at the racetrack casino here in Minnesota. So I guess they're kind of still using casinos for those things.
Yeah, I think I feel like, now granted this is more of shows and not a convention. I think they do shows at some of the casinos up here, but any convention they do it at the Rush Center. Yeah. Over by Lambeau.
Yep. So Smithers tells Burns that Robert Goulet isn't there yet, and Burns says, "Begin the thawing of Jim Neighbors."
I don't know anything about Jim Neighbors.
Nope. But then we cut back to Bart's casino, and Bart takes Robert Goulet to his treehouse casino, and Robert Goulet is like, "Are you sure this is the casino? I think I should call my manager." and Nelson's up in the treehouse waving his fist. Your manager says for you to shut up. Vera said that?
All right.
All right.
Nelson was up there putting up the marquee for Robert Goulet.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh, Nelson.
Yeah. Love it.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, Marge broke her promise to Lisa, and the pageant's tonight, and Lisa comes running in, and, obviously she's upset, and her costume's going to be a joke. And so Homer's like, well, okay, I guess I need a rubber suit that looks like Florida. And so Homer's like, all right, it's always up to me. And so I have to, he's like, it's always something. First, I had to drive Marge to the hospital to give birth to Lisa. And now this.
Yeah.
And so now we get a montage of Homer trying to put together a Florida suit
costume,
and he's a horrible sewer. He like sews
he keeps
his
hurting
hand,
himself.
Yeah, he sews his hand into the sewing machine. It's just not good.
No,
I like how he hops on the blowtorch. And then you cut away, like you think he's like blowtorch, because that's the whole right. You think he's blowtorching the costume, and then it pans away, and he's actually trying to fix his car. Which, Homer, you probably shouldn't be fixing your car either. And Lisa comes in there, and he's like, oh yeah.
So we see Lisa's Florida costume, which is like this 2 pieces of fabric on either side of her, and the word the state spelled Florida on it, but he's puts an E instead of an I.
Yep.
In Florida, because Homer is a bad speller. And I love how he tries to tape an orange to it, but the orange falls off. And Lisa's like, I'm not a state, I'm a monster. And Homer's like, no, you're not a monster. The only monster here is the one that has ensnared Marge. And I call him Gambler.
For how stupid Homer is, he comes up with some pretty cool ideas.
Oh, God.
He has a good imagination. That's what it is. Yeah.
So Homer marches to the casino to get Marge, and I love how he punches a cutout of Robert Goulet. So he's like gets into the casino, he's yelling for Marge. So he punches, the cutout of Robert Goulet. He spins a wheel that lands on double stars, and everybody wins. He takes the dice out of Skinner's hand at the craps table and rolls a 7. And then Burns is like watching on the monitor. He sees Homer rampaging around, and he's like, I don't want that man working at the casino anymore. And Smithers like, fine, we'll just transfer him back to the power plant. Yeah. So he's not working at the plant because he's working at the casino. Yeah. But like, who's working at the plant then?
Well, I don't know if many employees converted over. I guess we never really see any dealers or anyone else. But maybe Homer was like, let me do it. I mean, he's not good at being a safety inspector. At least he can lose.
He's not good at being a blackjack dealer either. He keeps losing.
And then Burns is like, oh, my beloved plant. How I miss her. Bah, to hell with this. Get my razor. Draw a bath. Get these Kleenex boxes off my feet. Certainly, sir. And the jars of urine? Oh, we'll hang on to those.
And then he's like, come on, Smithers, let's hop into the spruce and get out of here. And Smithers is like, sir, and Burns pulls out a pistol and says, I said get in. Oh my God.
Oh, that's such a good line. I love it.
So finally Homer finds Marge. I don't know how big the casino is that he missed her. Now granted,
dude,
the casinos
are like a fucking maze, man.
They are.
You know
Especially
I get lost in a casino.
I mean, the one in Detroit we went to wasn't actually that big.
No, but you still I think we got turned around at least once or twice, especially when we tried to go play poker. Remember when we tried going up and getting there's that weird outdoor type bridge thing, and then dude, like casinos are stupid mazes. I don't even think we went out the door we came in.
We probably didn't. So Homer finally finds Marge. He pulls the slot machine out and knocks it over, rips it out, and he screams at her, and he tries to tell her stuff, but it's all gibberish. So she's like, Homer, slow down. So he slows down, but it's still gibberish. And then she's like, okay, Homer, think of the words you want to say before you speak. And he's like, and then Homer tells Marge.
Yeah, he's like, you promised Lisa to help her with her costume. You made her cry. Then I cried. Then Maggie laughed. She's such a little trooper.
And then Marge has this realization that, she's been horrible. And Homer wants Marge to admit she has a problem, which she agrees to with Homer. And then, okay, PSA after this line. So she's like, I should probably get professional help. And Homer's like, that's too expensive. Just don't gamble anymore.
No, just don't do it anymore.
Yeah, just don't gamble anymore. If you have a problem, please seek professional help. Don't listen to Homer because it just get help. If you need help, please get it or talk to somebody, even if it's just a friend. Please seek help if you need it. So then we cut back to Bart's Casino where Robert Goulet is singing the parody version of Jingle Bells from the Batman the Animated Series episode Christmas with the Joker.
That's awesome. That is such
Batman
a good
smells.
goal.
What is it?
Robin laid an egg.
There's an egg.
Batmobile
broke a wheel.
And
Joker got away. Hey. I think Joker sings it.
I'm here all night.
And then I love how he's like spinning the microphone and yells Millhouse with it. Now here's the thing. I had like kind of a Mandela effect with this episode. I could have sworn that Bart's Casino was like broken up.
No.
But it wasn't.
No,
I swear to God, I know it hasn't. It just goes away. But I swear to God, in my brain, I could have sworn there was a scene where like the police came and broke up Bart's Casino.
No, that never happened.
No, it did not. So now we come back to the pageant, and Lisa and Ralph win special awards because Skinner's like, well, it's obvious that your parents didn't help you with your costumes. Ralph's costume is just a piece of paper with the word Idaho on it. And
just
he goes,
as boring as Idaho.
I'm Idaho. But the funny thing is, Homer actually helps Lisa with her costume.
I feel like Lisa would have been better off doing her own costume.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't do it herself. She's smart enough.
Yeah, I mean, she did that diorama. Well, I guess, okay,
Yeah.
We haven't done that episode yet.
No.
But when she builds a really awesome diorama replica,
Yeah.
I feel like she's smart enough to at least put together a Florida costume.
Hey, Steve.
What?
I'm Idaho.
I'm Idaho.
So then we come back to Homer and Marge leaving the casino, and Homer just keeps mentioning to Marge that she has a gambling problem.
Yeah, and Homer's like, remember that time I got calling ceiling watches? From Sears?
From Sears.
Yeah, but you have a gambling problem. He's like, remember that time I let that escaped lunatic into the house because he was dressed like Santa Claus? Well, you have a gambling problem. Now, it's funny. I would have loved it more. I would have loved that line more had it would have been the guy who thought he was Michael Jackson instead of Santa Claus. I think that would have been funnier. I think more people would have. I think more people would have gotten it.
Yeah, that would have been a much better line.
I think so. I personally think so. And then Marge tells over, well, you can't keep throwing my addiction back in my face once I forgive you. I can't. Aw. Remember? And then he's like, oh, right.
Yeah.
And then they're walking down the boardwalk to end the episode.
Yeah. I really enjoy this episode. The jokes are really good. I like the fact that Bart, starts his own casino and he has his own odds board. That's probably one of the greatest visual gags in The Simpsons. It's just so funny. However, there's just something with this episode that I can't like give it a 5. There's just something like it's a straight storyline kind of. Cause it starts with Abe and Jasper, and the town being crappy, and then in the casino, which honestly would make the town crappier. And I can't get it. There's just something missing to me to give it that 5. It's a great episode. I will watch it, but there's just something missing for me with this episode. So I'm gonna go 4 sprinkles. It's a solid episode. There's just something missing for me to give it that 5.
Oh, I'm going 5 all the way. I love this episode. Homer becoming a blackjack dealer, you never thought you'd see that in a million years. Bart'S Casino, just the casino in general. I like the fact that Homer keeps bringing up that he thought she didn't want the casino.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely hilarious.
I think that kind of took me out of the episode as they made Homer just so, like, yes, he shouldn't be able to sew. He's going to get distracted making the costume. But the fact that they just made him so dumb when Marge is clearly gambling that part just takes me out of the episode just enough.
I don't know. I just love watching. Watching this episode brought back so many memories. And I mean, could Marge have done a little bit, maybe less gambling and more being I mean, I guess but that really is at the core of it is an addicted gambler. I mean, they did a fairly good job showing it. The only thing that I think might have been a little bit better is Marge losing enough to make her question gambling. I mean, she seemed to have been ahead.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think
it was the tool of the family side that she was missing out on the family as opposed to losing money.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to addiction, especially with gambling, it's like once you win, you get that high from winning, and you just, even though you're losing, you want to get that high again, and you're like, okay, once I get to this amount, I'm done. But then you get to that amount, and it's like, okay, well, I'm winning, let's keep going, and then you start losing again, and it's just like, okay, I need to reach this, and then you reach that point, but it's a bad cycle. Yeah. So I think the whole thing with Marge being addicted to gambling, while we don't actually see her losing the money, which would have been nice to like see her lose and be like, okay, maybe I should stop, but I'm just gonna get break even.
I want one.
Yeah,
more. Like that's.
And then she wins, and then she's like, okay, then I'm gonna keep going.
Exactly. That's the part of the addiction part that was I personally think was missing, but that's a small piece of the puzzle. But just overall, I love watching this episode. The opening is fantastic with Homer and the glasses, and I mean that's just hilarious. But yeah, I'm gonna go 5. Everything's coming up, Milhouse, and watching Milhouse get destroyed by cats was funny too. All right, mean. Yeah, but it was funny. So let's finish it off with our character profile, and this week we have Ernest and Gunther. And their occupation is tiger training entertainers. I don't know if you have to be a good trainer to get a tiger to ride a unicycle. So I'll give them that. But they probably should have had it on a leash or have a muzzle on it or something to keep it from getting attacked. Their financial status, rich. But the funny thing is, don't they live at the casino? Isn't that what they said?
No, they didn't say that, but you would assume so.
Yeah, probably like a penthouse. Look at it like this, man. You make all the money, you get a place at the casino, you probably get free food. Your actual expenses are on the living side are very little.
Yeah.
Their accents, heavy. I'm assuming like Austrian, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Their outfits, gaudy. Very gaudy. Primary ability, coaxing albino tigers to ride.
Wait, did you say gaudy? Their outfits are goofy.
Wow.
Yep, so I guess you need Henry Kissinger's glasses.
I do need Henry Kissinger. So to be fair, I was watching a TV show when I was just doing my character profiles, and I was kind of looking at the book while I was typing, while I was watching a show, and I don't know how gaudy and goofy got mixed up. But their outfits are gaudy. I wrote.
Oh, are they? Oh,
yes.
I was like, you said gaudy. They are. Well, you said gaudy, and I'm like, that That's not the word, Steve.
Because I'm actually reading from my book right now. I actually put down, usually for character profiles, I put down my phone and I just go to the book since it's open anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, primary ability, coaxing albino tigers to ride unicycles.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah.
Until you get mauled by one.
Yes. A round of applause, please, for Estasia. She loves show business so much nicer than savagery of jungle. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good episode. All right, let's finish it off with where you can find us. Head over to Facebook and search us, Simpsons Did It podcast on Instagram. Oh, before I go on Instagram, as of today, February 10th, when I checked our Facebook, we now are up to 950 followers on Facebook.
Nice.
And that's grown. Like, it was funny. Like 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, we were at like 750.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Your cat approves.
Your cat approves. So, yes, Instagram, Simpsons Did It Pod. Twitter, Simpsons Did It PC. If you'd like to donate to our podcast, check us out on buymeacoffee.com/Simpsons Did It. And all of your donations will go towards stickers and other merch. And lastly, check us out on YouTube. Just type in the Simpsons Did It podcast and you'll find us. We're going to be right there on the top. Need some more subscribers, though. So, guys, if you are listening on YouTube, be sure to click subscribe. And that'd be awesome. And if you obviously are listening on YouTube and you get to the end of said YouTube video, and I'm saying this to click subscribe, just go click that little subscribe. It's already on your phone. You're already looking at it.
Yeah.
Just do it. It'll make our numbers look good. And we'll love you for it. So, until next time, my name is Steven Skolansky.
I'm Robert Skolansky.
And this has been The Simpsons Did It.
Shh.